perfect for Echo Esports. Once again, having control of the circle, kind of on the downside. Yes, attack all around and still in the middle as they usually do play, but I think Echo Esports does have a good rotation in terms of where the circle is going to be pushing them towards.
If you notice that in the northern part of Kalahari, right inside of Shrines, the Shrines is pretty much dislocated from the entire island itself because of a bed of water, and because of the downward steep, it is very difficult for any team to actually break off that river. So if they want an Echo, if they want, they can actually play towards the northern side of Bayfront. They don't even have to care anything about Shrines because no one will head over to Shrines from this point onwards because they have claimed territory of that area. So they can just look in right down to the southern side, western or eastern, but they just don't have to look over to Shrines. That puts them in a perfect spot to be gatekeeping all the other teams that tries to head over to the center of the circle, and they will also be guaranteed probably circles until the 5th.
Yeah, as much as there is very little cover in Kalahari, the circle is actually, pushing into an area of the map where there are a couple of huts here and there. So I think there is still a bit of a leeway for teams that don't really favor fights in open ground. So I think that's a bit of a comfort for some of these teams that don't want to take that fight like I mentioned.
Is now in Bayfront, identified to be the best spot in the current map. Based on the have managed to put themselves 39 points onto the leaderboard, 8 points above Attack All Around. Not a big margin, but I still think that they are pretty darn good. In the meantime, Attack All Around with 31 points, Vivo Kate moving up 1 spot with a total of 29 points, B Gaming dropping 1 spot with 35 points, and House of Blood and Ignis Esports, as well as All Stars Esports, all 3 of these teams are the same with 14 points.
And then we have Todak, LGDS, and Fuego in 8th, 9th, and 10th respectively. I think, we are starting to see a pattern here, right? You got Echo Esports and Vivo Kate who are really good at pushing and playing aggressively, and then Attack All Around playing conservatively. 2 completely different styles, but all 3 teams finding themselves in top 3. And here it is. It is Dark Love, or rather Dave God, from Vivo Kate coming in with 4 points of Vivo Kate. I gotta say, that was a messy last minute fight, but Vivo Kate pulled through.
It was definitely messy. I thought that, yes, they were kind of hanging on knife's edge, but all's well.
Sinh nhịn sẽ ngạc lắm. Vâng, cô đằng nó đằng mang lên. Untuk Kiroro, kata nak bagi 2 point, jangan nak sampai 3. Untuk keeper A, korang keeper lah kat mana pun, ikan tak akan cari korang. तुम लोगों को जोक सुनना है? फ्री गेमिंग नाम नहीं सही, इससे अच्छा फ्री के रख लो, ज़्यादा जच्चे. Our plus chưa cái các bạn đối đầu với V-Gaming thì các bạn đã phải đi về rồi. Từ trước đến nay chưa bao giờ để ý đội tuyển nào đến từ BK cả. Đội nào cơ? How giờ boss á?
没有，我们的队伍至少曾经世界第4，而你们只是第2晋级的队伍。威口打你们就像打人机一样简单。
¿Quién es Yuen? Ha de ser un inservible que solo lo utilizaré para mis clips de TikTok.
Eu não tenho muito o que falar daí. Não reserva melhor que qualquer um de vocês. O que eu queria dizer aí é que o Mundial não é igual esses campeonatos fracos que ele joga lá na cidade dele, tá ligado? Esses campeonatozinhos baixos aí, de classe baixa aí. O Mundial é lá em cima, entendeu? Então, ó.
que les puedo prestar mis manos para que den todo rojo. ¿Quiénes son ellos? Es mi tercer mundial, la primera vez que los veo.
ايكو تيم يوم النصف النهائي راح تكونوا كليات متحركه في الماء.
Secara keseluruhan kami akan hantar korang ke rumah dan makan tomiak.
Ya तुम लोग हमें मैच में मिलो हम बताएंगे पाकिस्तान की किसी कम.
Pienso que el eje de eso es una basura y no sirven para nada.
¿Quién nos conoce? ¿Es una verdura o algo?
To the Free Fire World Series 2022. After wrapping out game number 2, won by Vivocade, we have went through a little bit of a shuffle, at least on the caster desk, because instead of Aris, now I have Holla. Hey, how are you? And I'm happy to be here. This is all about the Free Fire World Series. This is the play-in, and I talked about Vivocade before. We took this one offline.
We did.
But I love this team. The fact that they got the booyah going into this one only hypes it up even more. I mean, yes, 4 out of the 10 teams will make it into the finals, and I'm looking forward to that. But Vivocade showed up, and I loved it. You have been hyping up for the Brazilian teams, or rather Brazil in a region since last year as well. And I believe that this is the time, right? Vivocade as well as Loud, well, the two of them maybe will be able to face off against one another in the finals if we are looking at them to be consistent all the way. Yeah, I'm definitely, this is something that we're going to see all the time. But first, let's give a shout out to our Secret Lab, the official chair partner of the Free Fire World Series. This is secretlab.co/2022. We're sitting in the chairs. All the players are sitting in the chairs. Very comfortable. Everyone is on the same playing field, I would say. Well, when it comes down to that, I suppose that I am the short one, so, no, it still kind of works. Slouch a little bit. Or maybe I can just kind of like rip you down. No. I think we're fine. The height is fine. No. We can boost it up and down as we see fit, right? We're going to be very comfortable. Everything's going to be great like that. But, hey, a big shout out to Secret Lab for all of this. And, of course, let's go back to the teams, though. We've seen, 2 games thus far. Which team kind of surprises you for maybe not living up to expectations? Well, I gotta have to say LGDS to a certain extent, right? Certain extent. Game number 1, they kind of bombed out because they were kind of like teetering on a breaking point. It was kind of like unfortunate on that note. Game number 2 was not so bad. Did you guys manage to pick out correctly about a couple of teams that didn't do well or maybe did do well? Maybe you'll be able to do well for the pick and win event, or rather the entire game itself. You know, you just gotta pick and win. Take a look at the game in Free Fire, and of course you'll be able to participate before May 21st. It will happen anytime after May 16th. So just get yourself into the game if you want some in-game goodies. I'm sure that I do want them.
Yeah, it's all about the predictions. It's making sure that you're doing it right. But hey, I think it's going to be, when you're talking about these teams, a lot of them are from all over. You haven't had that international exposure. You haven't played against these teams, so it's a little bit different. So predicting it, are you going to go for the home team, or are you going to look to go for something international and maybe just play the field a little bit?
Right. So right as you're talking about that, right, I think that I've been giving quite a lot of shout-outs, and of course I've been eyeing onto Fuego a lot, right? Because I see them as the revolutionary, and I hope that they will be able to, just revolutionize the entirety of how Free Fire World Series is played this year because of their fast-paced environment. But this time, it doesn't seem like it is quite working out for them. Their playstyle that they know in their own region doesn't seem to quite work out in this international stage, and considering the fact that North America is a very new region to Free Fire esports, it kind of seems as though there must be some kind of tweaking involved if they do want to play in this world stage.
Okay, I see Fuego as well, but I see them on the bottom. They're down on the bottom looking up right now. This is one of those things where, hey, you talked about the fact that it is a new region.
Yes.
It's a new league. It's something that they haven't really done. Maybe they do the scrims in terms of Latin America and the Brazilian teams. Maybe they've reached out and done that. But in terms of playing for the World Series, it's very different because you're playing up against international teams. But let's go into Game 3. This one's going to be purgatory.
And of course, looking at the flight path, it is going to be starting out from 9 o'clock and ending off somewhere down to 4 o'clock, cutting right through of Brasilia, allowing quite a lot of teams to make their way over to, technically anywhere that they want. Because we have seen times and time before how each of these teams have a very specific place that they do want to go. But first thing that captured my eyes is Echo Esports. Instead of going to Central like they usually did, they now head their way to the northern side. In fact, the only team in the northern side, Crossroads, that is the high loot zone, while the rest of the teams, Ignis Esports, they stayed to their roots and stayed exactly where they are. House of Bloods, usually in Brasilia, but now in Golf Course. All-Stars Esports, usually in Fields, now in now in Quarry. Attack All Around, though, they are still in Brasilia.
They've still got a chance there, and they're going to definitely be in the firefight. Attack All Around, they tend to be very centralized. They do this with almost all of the maps that they play, but my God, they are turning it up, and they go right to Fuego. I mean, you see the Wounded Duck, you go for the Wounded Duck, and it looks like they've just cleaned them up.
This is very weird. I'm not exactly sure what was Fuego trying to go for, because we usually and normally see them in Central. But somehow, they found themselves in the southern part of Brasilia, only to find themselves gunned right down by the members from Attack All Around. And Attack All Around, that is their play zone. That is their home ground. While in, Fuego's home ground inside of Central, there is an invader. And Todak, they are the one that is now in here rather than being in the fire brigade. We have seen Todak doing something like this time and time again, and of course they are the hunters, and they do not necessarily go to fire brigade all the time. If they acknowledge a team that they can take down, they will head over to take them down just for a couple of points, and perhaps even launch themselves up the leaderboards.
Yeah, they're trying to do it, and they're trying to find the right little pick-off, right? They got a couple. I think they knocked down Bruce. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're going to pick him back up, but they are all the way in that fire brigade. This is the southern part. Those two teams, who survives that one's going to be key. But if you're looking at the circle, of course, Todak right now have a little bit of an advantage. They can kind of fortify, maybe keep as LGDS has to push in a little bit more, but look at the rest of the map. VGM, Vivo Cade, and Echo are all outside of the circle. They need to make their way back into that centralized location, and this looks to be more of a river, circle at this point, and it could be going in the finals, which could be key.
I gotta have to say, Attack All Around, they are in the best position ever. At least for now, right? They are in the home ground. They are in Brasilia. They will do whatever that they can to keep themselves central of the new circle, and that is normally how they play. They would want to keep themselves very relevant throughout the entirety of the game, and they move very early in order to keep looting.
So Attack All Around, they're the second place team from Thailand. We know the previous final winners, the World Series winners of EVO's Phoenix. This is a team that's always playing, the second fiddle, so to speak, to them. But they have so much experience, they understand what it takes to win. So Attack All Around are that type where they fortify, they know the great locations, and they'll let the teams come to them. They've played on the international stage before, and they're going to continue to do this. They've learned so much from last year. They're continuing to improve. Yes, they haven't won out because of the fact that, you have EVO's Phoenix in the league, but this is a team that you do need to be careful about, and it looks like they're going to probably make their way into the finals.
You know what? Speaking of Attack All Around, right? We have seen them last year, right? As you talked about before. And of course, they weren't really doing too well. And of course, I was looking through their history, understanding a little bit more about Attack All Around. They actually got seeded over to the Free Fire World Series 2021, having only played one majors, and that majors is the qualifying stages that they gunned for. Like, right? They won in that series, or rather in the grand finals that made their way to the Free Fire World Series. Anything before that? Nada. So this time, Attack All Around, they have been grinding through the years after 2021 just to be here for the 2022. They are here to prove a point that they have changed, and they will be the top 4 teams to go over to the finals next week.
And it's all about the competition that you have. And we talked about the fact that the North American League, Fuego, the winner of that one, is played against a lot of other teams, but they didn't really have that, that bar, so to speak. Right?
Okay.
It's like one of those things where if you're consistently playing the top tier teams, your play will improve because you know what you're doing wrong and you can improve, right? But having that, you don't have that bar, so to speak, you don't really know where you stand.
This is where I would like to put a little bit segue over to LGDS as well, right? Because LGDS plays within the Taiwan region, and a lot of these teams in the Taiwan region, they, practically speaking, they're not of the highest tiers, right? Mechanically, some of these players, they are actually pretty darn good, but when it comes down to macro play, how they move around, how they tackle in situations, LGDS takes the bar. They are all the way at the top of their region, and they floor it. They absolutely smash almost every single one of the teams in their region, and that is the main idea as to why they are so strong. At least in their region, they don't really have that kind of exposure to play against teams of their own nature and how to improve.
True. And last year's grand finals, yes, they were in, but they finished 12th place. That was dead last in the grand finals.
Yes.
But if we're talking about the international experience and the other tournaments that they played throughout, since that time, they were 8th place in the SCA Pro Scrim, 9th in Vietnam, and if we're looking in, it looks like Spark has been knocked here, and this is going to be a little bit of a firefight. LGDS are within the vicinity, something that we talk about, and it looks like they're getting some knocks.
Well, we were talking about LGDS after all, and they are here to prove us wrong. They want to tell us, you know what, we have improved, we have went for streams, and we are not just playing within our region. In fact, this is our time to show you that we are fighting outside of our region and going up against Todak. Todak, the normal, the aggressors, the predators. They are usually the one that goes out for a hit hunting spree, and in fact, they did manage to hit hunt one of the players from the side of LGDS, and that was Bruce. But I'm surprised that LGDS have yet to revive him at this moment in time. Even for Todak, they managed to bring Spark back. So what exactly happened to LGDS? What happened to Bruce? They were methodical. They made sure that they have a full squad first if they do want to attack back, and normally they do.
Yeah, and they do, and they need to do this. Look at Kelvin, he's all by himself. Kai is sensing blood in the waters. He sees something is going on. He's definitely going to gatekeep on that outside end, but Kelvin Kelvin just looking for points, just looking for that placement point, just to kind of survive. Not many kills have happened. It seems a little bit slow at this point. It's almost kind of like giving me flashbacks of Twilight, where a whole bunch of people are running around, but nobody's really scoring.
Oh, well, tell me what you... I forgot the entire quote itself. Well, I tried, but you know what? Speaking of trying, Jill tried to get himself out of this small little crater that he made for himself out of his own glue walls. Afik take his tight little jump on top of the glue walls. Unfortunately, with the double barrel shotgun, he wasn't able to do much, but hey, he did manage to bring Un down, and now he's just going to be looking at other person as he's chasing, he's racing. They have smelled fresh blood and on the hunt and looking, and Spark takes the jump, hops given a jump with the judge. Buster brings one down, and he's looking for the next person. I don't think that he'll be able to find the person just yet because of the mass array of glue walls. He is just looking out for it. The bike is probably not going to do him a big favor at all. The Riptide Rhythm destroyed the glue wall that stands in between of them and Yuan. And just like that, Todak, they take the fall. And they go down to LGDS and they secured themselves 5 kills.
Spark was the MVP of their previous tournament. This is the guy that had that potential, but it was 1 versus 3. So difficult. It looks like the rest of Todak were just blood hungry, looking to go in. Spark was actually not in position. He got there a little bit too late. Unfortunately, was not able to turn that around. Yes, he did get 1 kill in the meantime, but LTDS survives. They got 5 kills to their name. You talked about the fact that this is the #1 killers in Taiwan. They are very strong. They average 12 kills per match and average almost 6k damage a game. This is a team that you do not want to be messing around with, and it looks like Todak have faced the wrath.
Well, they did prove me wrong, at least for now, you know. I'm pretty darn happy because I kind of called them out previously just now, and I love it when teams does call me out and just kind of prove me wrong entirely, because this means that I'm wrong. I love to be wrong. Prove me wrong anytime, man. But now I believe that we have more urgent things to attend to, and that is going to be down in Central. We do have Ignis Esports that's coming in super darn close to Echo, and I did manage to see a single member from Echo actually got knocked down. The flash freeze pops right onto Duds previously just now. The lobbing on the grenades not going to connect on the Duds, but they definitely did try. They have an idea what they're going for and when they're going, but I don't think that they will be reckless enough to be charging into the front lines.
Yeah, and Echo Esports Duts did go down. He is a key member on that team. They do need to be careful, but G18, he's getting some shots in, and it looks like there's going to be a little bit of a third party with Ignis Esports right nearby all of these teams.
Completely pincered. Echo Esports, the one and only Booyah winner for game number 1. They want to keep up to the rhythm. They want to be consistent, but it doesn't seem like this game is allowing them to do so. Alas, their positioning is now super darn good. But speaking of positioning darn good, Fuego's positioning, not that much, because that last member remaining, he actually managed to stay alive for a pretty darn long time, so I gotta have to give him props. I'm not gonna lie. I believe it was Calvin, just kind of looping around, playing around by the ridges, or perhaps playing right below the cliffs. Well, knocking yourself out at a 9th place, rather than 10th place. It is 1 more point.
You don't score any points for time survived, right? The other teams need to be killed, and unfortunately, it wasn't really the other teams really able to do it. Yeah, you're right. You're right. They did outlast that, so he did get a single point. But, at the end of the day, it's one of those things that, hey, we're running out of time. This is match 3. There are 3 more after this. Can you get yourself into the top 4?
You did say that right. After this game, we have officially marked 1/2 of the tournament in play-ins over. Consistency is key, and the teams that are at the bottom of the leaderboards right now, they gotta work their butt off and just really try their absolute best to ensure that they get a lot of kills, they get a lot of placement points. But who are we to say that they need to do that? Because it is a lot easier to be said than done.
Of course. But the thing is that if you're behind, you're not getting the kills. Now you just got to throw all caution to the wind. You just got to be aggressive. You got to make sure that you get those kills, because that's the only way you can climb. If you're on the bottom, you really don't have any chance. You cannot wait around hoping for kills to come your way.
Well, you gotta have to work whatever that comes in your way, right? At the end of the day, if a team comes over to you, I'll take it instead of just kind of running away, unless you know, as a matter of fact, that you are not entirely prepped out for that situation, like what Todak did just now. They're not exactly prepped crept out to fight against LGDS, even though it was 3 versus 3. But like I said, methodical. They want to ensure that they have every advantage to take a proper fight against other teams. And when it comes down to what happens after that, it really boils down to execution, whereas LGDS completely outplayed Todak.
Yeah, but let's be honest. Even though we're in the play-in stage, this is the top, highest level of Free Fire. Right?
Exactly.
No team is a gimme, right? No teams are given to you gift wrapped and just let
No
you
way.
go. So you
No
need to
way.
ensure that you outduel them. You're mechanically sound. You're able to do that. You're well coordinated as a team. And again, we're kind of seeing just the competition level. It's a little bit different. We have 8 teams left, and it's going to be about 13 minutes coming in. It's coming to crunch time. Teams really need to step up.
Oh my, Venom gets himself spotted out by V Gaming as they are putting themselves right onto the bridge. He's finding himself stuck at the western island, nowhere else to go. V Gaming is probably one of the good teams that will be able to find out where a lot of these teams are, because that's a very long stretch. There's a lot of place to play around with whenever you are on the bridge, right? Some of these blocks, they can actually block a lot of shots, and they can play aggressively if they want to. But speaking of aggression, this is where Echo can play aggressively, but it kind of seems as though they are left with one.
Yeah, it's a difficult situation right now. Look at that river. Nobody wants to cross. Nobody wants to commit anything. Because again, the circle is there, but look at how close
Yeah,
that is.
this
And
one.
Echo, they got the booyah in game 1, but they've been eliminated 8th.
Well, they have been kind of dwindling down in numbers, right? Game 1, Booyah. Game 2, 4th place. And now Game 3, 8th place. Not quite consistent. So it's kind of tough for me to see that. I really do want to see them kind of like get themselves right back on the feet, get themselves the fire that they found in game number 1. Hopefully, they are just the Bermuda Masters that we're looking out for. Game number 4 could be that momentum change that we are hoping and looking out for. At this moment in time, the circle is slowly but surely pushing right out. And unfortunately, All Stars Esports, they weren't able to get themselves out of that ultimate demise. They find themselves completely taken out. And now, with only 6 teams left, we do have Attack All Around that is on the main archipelago. I don't think they will be able to hold this position for the longest time ever, because there's only this small, tiny little real estate for them to be shooting out against V Gaming. How long can they hold out for this duel?
Yeah, look at AAA, Attack All Around, and Vivo Keyed. We're just sticking around in this river, and we wanted a final circle where, look at Dark Love turning it up. That was an amazing grenade right there. That was a really nice shot, but they've only got 2 kills to their name. That circle is getting smaller. How are they going to end this game?
The circle is absolutely small, and V Gaming, they are right smack in the center of it. In fact, it kind of looks good, but no, it's not. Everyone's eyes is going to be lined up onto where V Gaming is. They will be running out of glue walls anytime soon. And look at the amount of glue walls here. Once type rhythm goes online, all of the glue walls disappears. So I don't think that they should be stacking up so much of that. It's really dependent on how they want to play it in the end of the day. But now, with 5 teams left, Carlos knocked down, fell to death. No idea how he did that, but hey, it is what it is. LGDS, they're taking their stance at the western part of the circle. Ignis Esports at the southern part of the circle. We got Vivo K finds himself eliminated at the southeastern part of the circle. And I believe that we've got Ignis as well as V Gaming that will be holding very tightly on their current positioning. And AAA, unfortunately, they are going to be finding themselves completely taken out due to their unfortunate positioning. And how about the rest, man? 3 teams left.
Unfortunate circle right there. No real chance for Attack All Around to go. They just literally just stood there. But LGDS capitalizing on this amazing opportunity for being in the circle. We're going to look to just close this one out with Eric getting his 1 kill.
And now we've got as well as Roro, the last 2 members left from the side of LGDS. I'm not too sure whether they will be able to hold this out for any time longer. V Gaming, they're still holding themselves right behind of this boulder. They're still holding themselves out amazingly. I have no idea how, but it's a 2 versus 2 against 1. This is going to be one of the best locations for the members from V Gaming. They've been holding this position out for the longest time ever, but where's the Skylar? Where's the rhythm that we have been asking for the longest time ever? Ignis, total of 9 kills. LGDS, I believe that they've only got 1 person left, and that is going to be Roro. All of these teams, they'll be waiting for that eventual time when the storm eventually closes them out to a small little pixel left. Look at how fast it shrinks. LGDS out of circle already. Ignis Esports, nowhere else to go. LGDS, take it right down. Carlos, last member remaining with the Grunter. He wasn't able to do anything as the storm consumes him, and V-Gaming finds themselves with the booyah for game number 3. What an amazing play by V-Gaming. Being very patient, letting the circle come to them, and then all of a sudden you saw the circle happen. They really didn't have a chance. They had to rush it. They had no way to get themselves in there. There were blue walls all throughout, but congratulations to V-Gaming, Binsu, Tena, Dark Love, and Vanta. All of these guys just really stepping up. This is what we wanted. We expected big things from V-Gaming, and they really stepped up this game. We're really happy waiting for them to show up. And showing up, indeed they did. The positioning was great. And getting themselves the booyah, it was amazing. In the meantime, enjoy this highlight. Circle. Every team was just coming into them. They were pretty much in there. They knew they had the greatest chance. All they had to do was survive, make sure that they were fine, and V-Gaming got that booyah because of that. There was a lot of things that was happening within that circle, and I gotta have to say, V-Gaming, right smack in the center. I was expecting them to be the one that gets whittled out in the end because, well, let's be honest, in such a small circle, you have so many glue walls out there, you're just asking to get a type rhythm blasted through your face. That did not happen. I wonder why. It's probably a lot of those cooldowns in order, and they were just unable to work around with it. V-Gaming, they held it strong and tightly, while LGDS as well as Ignis Esports, they were kind of busy with one another. I believe that Vivocade was pretty busy in one of those skirmishes as well. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, this is what we want, and this is why we like Purgatory. The fact that there's rivers, so you can't just put the glue. Water circle! You have no chance right there. And so all of these teams attack all around Vivocade, and Ignis at this point, we're just looking for that area, right? They were just sticking around, but let's look at the standings to see exactly where we are in that last game. We saw a big step up by that one, but if we're looking at those one, LGDS plus 21 points, 13 kills to the name. Ignis Esports picked it up as well with 10 kills. That's a monster game. V-Gaming, even though they got themselves the booyah, they did not get that much amount of kills. In fact, you can pretty much say that this is the minimum that you can get whenever you get yourself the booyah, because you're gonna have to destroy 4 other players from the opposite side in order to get yourself that booyah. So 16 points, the bare minimum that you should get as the winning team of a specific map. In the 4th place, Attack All Around with 14 points, still very consistent. House of Blood, 5th place with 7 points, tied with Vivocade. And on the other half of the leaderboards, it is gonna be All Stars Esports, Todak, Echo Esports, and Fuego with 6, 4, 3, and 2 points respectively. All right, you talk about consistency, and on that bottom, Todak has been 8th place in every single game thus far. Fuego's been on the bottom. They don't have a whole lot of time. They are consistent, but if we're looking at the standings, this is what we're talking about in terms of that, consistency, right? Todak and Fuego, unfortunately, they're on the bottom looking up. They really need to step up. They have only 3 more games to make it all around, but Attack All Around, top of the line right now with 45 points. Echo Esports right behind, and V-Gaming with that booyah springboard themselves into 41, but this is turning into a rat race for that final 4th position. This is really tough, right? Because it kind of seems as though Ignis Esports as well as LGDS, they are definitely still in the running because they need to knock out Vivocade, which is at 36 points. For Ignis Esports, they just need 3 more points. For LGDS, they need 6 more points. House of Blood as well as All Stars Esports, I believe that there is still some points to reclaim their pride to get themselves up onto the 4th place, but that would definitely take some time. Booyahs and kills all involved. This standings is not gonna tell us the final story just yet.
Yeah, but let's look at the MVP of that one, LGDS Roro, turning it up. 5 kills to this name. And there's a reason why LGDS, yes, they might not be the luckiest in terms of the circles and the placement points, but this is the thing. But it's all about kills in Free Fire, and it's proving to actually work out for LGDS. They just need a little bit more from everybody else to just support him and give Roro a chance to really just, make a name for himself here.
It really boils down to the tiebreakers at this point in time. If LGDS gets so much kills, but not a single booyah, that is going to be a problem when it comes down to tiebreakers. But for that, we're just going to be looking at the rest of the kill leaders. Not just Roro that got 5 kills, but Yuan from the same team, LGDS, got a total of 5 kills, and Carlos from the side of Ignis Esports has also gotten a total of 4 kills. And Roro and Yuan, just the two of them combined, have already have a tabulated score of 10 kills. How insane is that?
And he was key, and there's a reason why that team did very, very well. But if we're looking at the key players, Volky, look at this Chrono. That damage was actually on point. They were fighting in the river, and that really helped them out, gave themselves a chance. Dark Love with 3 assists, very good for V Gaming. Make sure that he's getting, he's supporting his team. Hoysong with, the Skylar Award, glue walls destroyed. He's a destroyer of glue walls, and we do count those things, but, I would rather have kills to my name. Roro, on the other hand, glue wall used, and there's a reason why he has so many kills, because he has so many glue walls. It was very difficult to draw a beat on it.
We're starting to see the amount of glue wall used more and more per game as the game escalates, right? At first it was like, 12? And then 14? And then now 15. So anyone that gets lower than 15 for the next key players, well, I'm gonna be disappointed in you.
Yeah, apparently that's the only stat that you really
That's the only stats I care.
It's glue wall use, but it's actually key.
It is very
understanding how to use it and making sure that you're blocking the right lines of sight, giving your team the right cover so that you have the right angles. Very important.
I mean, that is the main reason why V Gaming won in Game 3 after all, or rather, this very specific game. If not for glue walls used to completely bolster out their frontal defense as well as their rear defense, I'm pretty sure that it is going to be a big, big problem. In the end of the day, the ridge plays a very big part for them because there's no other team that is able to kind of wrap around the entire circle to kind of backstab V Gaming unless there's a team that actually does have a vehicle. In that situation, none of the teams are ones who really actively use vehicles. One thing I know, Todak, as well as House of Blood, they use Afterburner a lot, and they really made full use of vehicles. But unfortunately, the final circle does not have them.
Yeah, it doesn't really help them, and that's one of those things where, unfortunately that's going to be the case. But let's get talking to it about it after the break.
Well, I believe that there is still quite some time for us to see for game number 4, but now, off to a break.
the stakes are too high, this is more than a game. No sleeping or rest, we believe in this dream, it will come true one day. We will be heroes. The moment has arrived. We fight the biggest battle of our lives. We will be heroes. The last ones to survive. We can't just stay until the end of time. Let the heroes arise. Never thought the day would come, our eyes would be on me. There's no way I will lose now. I'll shine in victory. Can't stop it, won't stop, the stakes are too high. This is more than a game. No sleeping or rest, we believe in this dream, it will come to one day. We will be heroes. The moment has arrived. We fight the biggest battle of our lives. We will be heroes. The last ones to survive. We can't just stay until the end of time. Let the heroes arise. It's time to stand up now. Let the heroes arise. There's no stopping you right now. Let the heroes arise. There's only one way. Get it up. Let the heroes.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Free Fire World Series 2022 Santosa. We are officially done with game number 3, and that means that we have officially marked the second half of the play-ins. I am excited. I'm pretty sure that Holler is really excited as well.
Of course. I mean, this is it, right? You have no more chances at this point. You need to step up. You need to do it. If you want to get in the top 4 to get yourself a chance to the finals, now is the time. There is no other time but today.
This is the point in time whereby whatever teams at the lower end of the leaderboards, it's time for them to stir up some chaos. Fuego and Toda is perfect time.
Yeah, this is the time. You have no other time, but, speaking of time, this is going to be somewhat limited in the sense that the official chair partner is going to be for Free Fire World Series. It's the Secret Lab chair. We're sitting in the Titan chairs. They're amazing. They're super comfortable, and we're going to roll back in between breaks. Unfortunately, you don't catch those on stream, but they're very comfortable. All the players are using it, and everybody's loving it.
Well, you're gonna have to enjoy yourself, right? In the end of the day, I'm pretty sure that all of you guys are thoroughly enjoying the Free Fire World Series because we're hyping it up, and then we're waiting for the end result of how game number 3 would eventually go to. Which are the teams that would get themselves a booyah this time? Will we have a repeat booyah, or are we gonna see a booyah by a completely unsuspecting team? I've kind of, reverse curse LGDS, right? Because we kind of be like talking about LGDS, blah, 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 and then they bombed out this one really well in a positive manner. A lot of kills. So this time, I think it's time for me to cheer for, no, sorry, I cannot use that word. Say that, well, Fuego, it's unfortunate that you have yet to show any performance. It is time for you to prove me wrong.
Yeah, okay. I don't know if you're calling them out or you're not even giving them a chance at this point, right? It's one of those things where, you know what I mean, is like Asian dad where you're kind of yelling at them, but you're kind of building up confidence at the same time. I'm very confused with that direction.
I'm confused as well.
Okay, all right. But you know what we're not confused about is the fact that the Brazil team, Evocade, is doing well. Indonesia is doing well with Echo Esports. Both of these teams stepped up, and I love the fact that V Gaming is also up there as well. All of these teams, of course, they have a sort of a parent team in the sense that they've made it to the finals. This is the second team of that region. There's a reason why they're kind of in the tops right now. They've had that competition. They're able to step up, and they've been being able to just kind of get themselves into the position to hopefully get into top 4.
I gotta have to say, Attack All Around hailing from Thailand, they have been showing us exactly how it is to play like Thais. Because in the previous years, or rather, last year, it is going to be Phoenix Force that really showed us the amazing power of the Thai. Because, well, out of 6 games, 4 booyahs, that is unheard of. And this time, Attack All Around may not be able to show that kind of legacy this year, at least for now, But the main point is that they want to advance over to the main stage, to the grand finals. And at this moment in time, with their consistency, with the way that they have played, well, I gotta have to say, they have a really high chance.
Okay, Attack All Around is a very consistent team. They have a strategy in mind. They're sticking to their guns, and they understand the strength of that team is gatekeeping. They've done a decent job. You know, this is kind of on the backs of Kororo, who's just an absolute monster. You see Poki as well as Hoisung. You know, all of these guys really step up. They really back each other up. The support is there. But let's go into Game 4. This one's going to be back into Bermuda.
Well, it is time for us to bear witness who will take the booyah off the second half of today. As we have the flight path that's just going to be starting off at 5 o'clock, ending off right at 10 o'clock, or maybe a little bit of a 10:30. Well, it will be cutting through Peak, Masadi Strip, Catalystua, Bullseye, as well as Santosa. And here we are expecting to see Fuego in Santosa, but no. It is Ignis Esports in Santosa, Cape Town, taken up by House of Blood instead of being inside of Shipyard. So a lot of these teams, they are actually playing things around and trying to change things up. While Todak, they were originally and usually in Factory. This time, they are in Tojinak.
Yeah, they see LGDS. They saw another team that dropped right next to them. Of course, they have no idea who that team is, and they were like, okay, we're just going to stick to Pochinko. We're going to stick right there, but they're nearby. They're going to get
inside of this. I've told you before about Echo's way of playing. They do have a very widespread they usually play. Gatekeeping, and once you kill someone, loot their bodies and plunder.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, you know, I just got to kill the other guy. You know, I don't want to loot all the buildings. I'll just kill the enemy. And I'll loot their bodies. It's just much easier for, you know, me to pick up everything. But if we're looking at, again, Ignis Esports, they got to get out of Santosa. This is a little too risky. I mean, obviously, it's still very early. They don't need to panic or anything like that. But seeing as that the circle is up in that northwestern area, you got to make a move at some point. At some point, you just need to just, you know, pick up and go. But look at Chill. He's on his awesome motorcycle. He's just doing a lot of scouting. Nobody's picked him off. He's making a ton of noise. He's going to be driving right into Clock Tower. He saw LGDS make a move to that, and he's called for his buddies. And it looks like, again, Todak and LGDS have been just rivals throughout this entire plan.
I mean, Todak, they are doing exactly what I am expecting them to do. I coined them as a predator. They are always on the motorcycle, trying to go around areas, looking out for potential prey. This time, they have found LGDS hiding themselves within of Clock Tower, which is, well, technically not too far from Pochinok, which is exactly where they have initially landed on. I'm not too sure if whether Todak will be able to bring down the entirety of LGDS like an Olympic diver, but in the end of the day, they will camp out this place because they are in the northeastern side of Clock Tower, and that means the LGDS, they gotta have to get past Todak in order to get to the next circle.
Yeah. It's going to be a little bit of a fight that's going to be happening very soon. I think they're just trying to find the right bead, but LGDS are technically on that high ground. It's going to be a little bit difficult, but Vivocade, it looks like they've kind of, they're in a bit of a skirmish here with All-Star Esports.
Not too big of a skirmish, I would say. I would believe that General with his AC-80 was really trying to get a couple of shots down onto Jordi as he's down onto the waters. I'm not sure why exactly he was in there, but I would call it as a small minor work accident. He was just trying to get around other places, hoping that he'll be able to get to some nice places, but now he's completely out of position. He's unable to do anything, and the only thing that will be able to help him is this glue wall and a little bit of a swimming lesson, perhaps.
Yeah, I think it's a little too late for that. Jordy's been knocked out there. Volky will actually secure that one, and it looks like they're just going to happily take that one, but, you know, AAA are within the vicinity of this. They do need to be careful. All-Star Esports with Vivocade, they're kind of fighting. They're not really able to draw bead. The terrain is just providing so much cover, as well as these glue walls. It's like, how do you barrel through all of them? What are you going to do? Are you going to just try to just take your time, knowing that they're going to be there? All-Star Esports are looking to just turtle in that bunker.
They will do whatever that it takes to hold themselves in. Attack All Around is not necessarily the most aggressive team, so they will hold themselves inside of house as much as possible. They will turtle in, they will defend, they will fortify their fortress and ensure that no one will be able to get in. And with that all said and done, Hoi-Sung with an amazing headshot down on the Kai and ensured that Kai would not be able to get anywhere close to the opponents. Hoi-Sung decided to take the frontal approach, brought himself with a shotgun right into the face of Huta. It turned around to bring him down all by himself. Or rather, we have Folky that also came right in, brings Venom down. The entirety of House of Blood has been eliminated despite trying to be the aggressors.
Attack All Around, living up to their name, giving House of Blood no room to breathe. They thought they were fine through all the glue walls, but no, they were like, we're going to go aggressive, we're going to go around them, I know how to get there, and they made sure that they paid. Those close combat skirmishes are key, and Vivocade right now are knocking on the door on All-Star Esports.
Oh boy, they're doing whatever that they could to destroy this lower. Part of the glue wall that they just want to slip a small little grenade in, but it didn't really quite work out for them. In that entirety, they were really hoping to bring something down, but RNG is not too favorable to Vivocade, as now we do have a danger zone that happens to be right on the head of Vivocade. They don't really have anywhere to go, to be honest, so we may be able to see a couple of calamity.
Yeah, this is like an awkward moment. You're looking at this fight, and then all of a sudden, like, the weather changes, and now it's a danger zone, and like all these things are just happening that's outside of your control. All I gotta do is just kill these people, but they're gonna bunker down. They're not gonna move. There's plenty of time so they can play it safe. Now, on the they need to figure out a place that they can be safe, at least for now. Just buy a little bit of time. It looks like it's passed. It looks like they're gonna go back into it.
Have they ever thought of being friendly?
No.
Hey, buddy.
Friendly.
Friendly. We may be getting off on the wrong foot, shooting up a couple of glue.
Frenemies maybe, but not friends.
Come on, let us in. That's the danger zone. You're not gonna leave us hanging, isn't it?
It's like, oh yeah, I've got cookies. Let me in.
Cookie. I mean, in the end of the day, I do love some cookies, but in the end of the day, I still do want to get myself a couple of booyahs, so just kill anyone that is inside. And it does seem like Fuego, they are going to be the one that's in the sight of the enemies, and that is going to be Todak doing whatever that they
running, trying to find some cover. They're trying to get around there, but Ignis Esports, they're kind of in a tussle. Again, Dead God is here, trying to draw a beat, and it looks like they're going to be a little bit slow here. Carlos has got 9 kills. Great game thus far. They want to get placement points. Getting eliminated now would be a little bit of a loss.
They're honestly still in the game, right? They are right behind a vending machine. If they're able to find their way and sneak over to a vending machine, perhaps they will be able to buy their fellow friend back, and they will be able to hold themselves in for a little while longer. Himself in, gets himself the kill, and eventually Goja and Dutch, they found themselves too, and the rest, how about Duck Love? He's finding himself on the bike, he's running away. Will he be able to run away? He will.
You gotta get inside the circle. Now is the time. Make sure that you're in a great position for that final circle. You gotta stay alive. Dark Love is just running for his life, just trying to stay alive. He runs into Carlos, and he does get the kill. And Dark Love giving him some love and just taking him down. He's fine for now, but he's the last member of V Gaming. They're still alive. 4 teams left.
Is it really gonna be the way? Currently the circle is being too small. V Gaming finds himself eliminated. Nando takes himself on the top of this building with the EWM General from the side of Evocade. They finished up yet another team to their name. Evocade versus LGDS for this final circle fight, and they are all gonna be barging right in. Roro right underneath of the opponents, and now it's gonna be 2 members from the side of Evocade. Nando Bruce is still managing to pop himself up with another one on the glue wall. He takes the time, goes for the medkit. Bruce runs away. He's still covered
for the pickup.
behind of that glue wall.
I don't know if that was the right call by Bruce.
That is going to be a crucial moment for Nando to eventually pick General up. And now, it's going to be 2 versus 1.
Oh, this is gonna be it. I don't know if going back to heal himself is gonna be the key, but Bruce is
Okay, Booyah.
No! Vivo Kane pulling it out. That's what you wanted, and this is why. Yes, you might heal yourself. You might have a chance, but it was 1 versus 1. You had a chance, but instead of just trying to go for that kill, you went for the heal. Gave himself time to pick him up. That was a bit of an issue there. I don't know if that was a questionable decision in the end, but hey, it paid off for Vivocade, and they're loving it.
He made his move, and Vivocade took that opportunity. They saved their fellow friends, and Vivocade get themselves the next booyah to their name. 2 booyahs in a row. Not really in a row, but 2 booyahs to the name of Vivocade. They are definitely happy for what they have gotten, and they are here to stay. The Brazilian teams, they are amazing. In the meantime, the highlights.
Evocade with their second booyah. This is not too unexpected, at least for me. This is their fourth game thus far. I'm pretty sure they're shoe-in into the grand finals. I mean, there's pretty much no other way at this point, especially with all the points that they got.
Honestly, there's only 2 games left. Getting themselves 2 booyahs right now is gonna be a massive game changer to what they originally have in the standings. And wouldn't be surprised if they have topped themselves above of Attack All Around, especially since Attack All Around, well, I think that they did pretty decently. It was not bad, but it's not good enough for them to get a booyah. And that is one thing that is lacking from the start of Attack All Around. They have been consistent, but just not with a booyah.
Yeah, they've gotten okay. This is a high-risk, high-reward play where you're continuing to fight and you're going to look to just try to get as many kills as possible. But let's look at the match standings of that game 4. Let's see exactly what happened in that one. But Vivocade on top, we talked about it, but they had 12 kills. They had 0 at, I think, the 9-minute mark. They play very patiently and they just pick off people when they can. They were in pretty much in a tussle with All-Star Esports throughout the entire game. But the fact that they were able to just clean up, they did very well in this game.
I gotta have to say that Attack All Around, they got themselves the 6 kills is definitely worth it. Or rather, they definitely, well, deserved it. House of Blood, if I remember correctly, tried to attack on the Attack All Around, didn't quite work out. But before we go down onto that rabbit hole and talk about the rest of the team, I gotta have to say, booyah! Over to the Vivocade, they did manage to get themselves a total of 12 kills and 12 placement points with a total of 24 points. Ignis Esports with 15, LGDS with 13, Echo Esports with 11, and as I said, Attack All Around with 9, V-Gaming with 8, Todak with 7, All Stars Esports with 5, Fuego still with 2 points, and now House of Blood, they found themselves only 1 point.
And let's check out the overall standings, see where we're at. This is the 4th game thus far. Vivocade on top with a monster 60 points. Attack All Around, yes, they're 54 points. They can definitely catch up. Echo Esports with 53 and V-Gaming with 49 and Ignis Esports with 48, LTDS with 43. That is so close. We're going to have to find out which of those 3 teams is going to be in 4th. Not to say that All-Star Esports can't do it, but they need a lot of help. House of Blood with 22, Todak with 21, and Fuego with just 9 points.
Attack All Around currently leads as the highest killing team with only 2 kills apiece. Mind you, they haven't gotten themselves a single booyah, and yet they're only 6 points below of Vivocade. They are the only team within the top 4 at this moment in time with not a single booyah. It would have been a lot nicer on the standings if Vivocade, for Attack All Around, Esports, Echo, as well as V-Gaming, they all had a single booyah. But it is what it is.
It is definitely what it is, but let's look at the MVP of that last game. I'm pretty sure we're going to see General here with 5 kills, an absolute monster. 5 of the 12 kills on that team. I mean, this is why Vivocade is just, a top-tier team. Like, they have people that are straight-up killers. 5 kills? I think I have 5 kills in maybe 10 games, but I'm terrible at this game.
Honestly, you have been hailing, and of course you have been calling out for Vivocade as the absolutely monstrous team. And honestly, I would be lying if I said that they are the best, right? Because honestly, myself, I did my homework. I thought that they would have a little bit of problem because, ironically, they were ranked 12 for their own regional finals group stage, and they barely made it in. So these monsters, General and Nando, they managed to let it all work out. 5 kills for General, 4 kills for Nando, and Ignis Esports, well, whooping right in because
จำได้ว่าโคตรเจ็บมาก ผมไม่เข้าใจว่าทำไมผมไม่เหมือนในคนอื่นดีกว่าทำมาและมีวินัยมากขึ้นแต่ว่าเงินที่ได้จากทำไร่ทำสวนมันก็ไม่ได้มากผมเลยต้องการเปลี่ยนแปลงมีคนไม่มากที่เชื่อในความฝันที่จะเป็นนักเล่นเกมมืออาชีพแต่ถ้าเรามีความฝันแล้วจงอย่าไปฟังเสียงรอบข้างเราก็เริ่มตั้งใจเริ่มเชื่อมั่น
Kuya.
ผมเก่งในเกมฟรีไฟร์มากขึ้นเรื่อยๆทำให้มีคนเชื่อใจผมและโอกาสที่ผมจะได้แข่งชิงแชมป์โลกก็ยิ่งใกล้ขึ้นเช่นกันทุ่มเททุกอย่างเพื่อแต่ทันใดนั้นชีวิตผมก็เปลี่ยนไป
Favorites obviously attack all around, started out really strong despite not getting a single booyah just yet. Purely through their own play style, they play really safe, they move fast into the circle, and then they gatekeep all these teams that are coming in late. And then finally, we have to touch on Vivo K. A little bit of a lackluster performance coming in game 1, but then starting from game 2, dropping into Kalahari, their map, their dominant map, and they have gotten out 2 Booyahs for today's games.
I mean, it's going to be key for them. But hey, the reason why they're doing so well is because they've been sitting in the Secret Lab chairs. They're the official chair partner of the Free Fire World Series. Just check it out. Make sure that you're in this. We're in the Titan chairs. They're sitting in the Titan chairs. I feel like I'm getting better at myself at Free Fire.
Well, I would call you solid, but I am too sitting in the chair, so I can't.
And you don't know what these teams are going to do, but now that we're getting into this one, they found their groove. At the end of the day, the mechanically sound teams are going to pick it up and they're going to rise to the top.
And obviously, we can't forget about Echo Esports. They managed to secure the first Booyah of the day with 12. They don't really rely on luck. They rotate really quickly and they play comfortably, calling the plays down. And I feel like at this point, teams at the bottom, they're trying to change things up too much. So much so that they are not comfortable in their own skin.
Yeah, it's really weird, right? Like, I think some of those teams, like, on the bottom, that Fuego, the Todox, these teams, we expected more out of them. We thought that they were very aggressive, but playing against these other teams, they're realizing, oh my God, I got caught flat not found that, that groove. They haven't been. They've gotten a decent number of kills, and they're kind of on the bottom in that sense. They've got 22 points to their name, which isn't great, and they do have a chance. But hey, this is it. 2 more matches left.
Yeah, that can all change. Remember what I said. 49 is the magic number at this point to put yourselves into top 4. And I think looking at the bottom half, as long as you can get 1 booyah with a respectable number of kills, that sets you up really well for the last game of the day. But enough about the points. Let's take a look at this map.
Yeah, this one's going to be huge. This is going to be the ultimate decider in the sense of, hey, where are we at? Again, if you're on the top team, yes. I mean, does it really matter if you're in the, first place or second place or third place at this point? Because all you want to do is make sure that you're in, so it's not that big of a deal. But at the same time, I'm hoping that the teams are still refining their strategies. I don't want them to change up their strategy, play passive and play possum and just kind of collect what they have. It's more of the fact that they play to their strength and they need to continue with that.
Absolutely agree with that. Well, here we go. Before you go, nothing much that we can recover more than the fact that we expected slightly more out of them. And starting right off the board, it's actually V-Gaming. They took down 2 members of Todak, who unfortunately, once again, not the best start in Kalahari.
Yeah, Afiq just kind of got caught flat-footed. He was by himself, thought he was safe, but V-Gaming made him pay. And unfortunately, that's going to be the case. But he's going to be revived, and Afiq's going to be like, yo, my bad, I'm here. Everything's good. Just don't worry, I won't make that mistake again. But we're going to have to see Todak not the best start, but hey, we have the res machine, so to speak, and you're back into full strength.
Yeah, all around, attack all around, finding themselves in a little bit of an uncomfortable situation, but they did manage to get a kill there. I think V-Gaming was slightly unfortunate, and Tam was kind of caught out of rotation there. But like you said, the revival mechanic should bring him back in quite a bit of a jiffy.
It's one of those things where you go for the shot, and it kind of gives away your position, right? Yeah. People hear that, and they're hearing gunshots, or it's a popcorn machine, or whatever it is, but it attracts everybody. Everybody wants to go there.
Wait a minute.
I'm sorry, I'm hungry. I can use some popcorn. I mean, look at how close this is. This is so entertaining. Don't you want some popcorn?
Oh, definitely. Not only popcorn, but butter on it as well. But speaking of butter, let's butter things up, right? You got Todak here. We talked about their lackluster performance, but they're pretty close. And, they are against a team that I would say they stand a chance after. I felt like in the first few games, they were constantly running to LGDS, and it was kind of like an old married couple situation. They've been bickering and fighting, and it was kind of like a hot and cold situation. Unfortunately for Todak, that didn't really worked out for them.
Okay, I did not know they were an old married couple. That one caught me off guard. I thought these guys were just, enemies in that sense. But hey, I see it now. I know where you're going with that. I like it.
It's a love-hate relationship, man. It's complicated.
Definitely, I see it. Okay, all right. There's definitely some infighting in that sense. But it's one of those things where, hey, if you're going to go for this, I mean, do you want to be bickering, or do you want to just kind of maybe get a couple kills in the meantime?
Yeah, I gotta agree with it. I gotta agree with it. V-Gaming here, taking it slow, but Fuego, wow, now they gotta get kills. In fact, it's against Vivo Kane. Who would have expected this? And now, if Fuego wants those points, now is the time. They managed to take 2 members off of Vivo Kane, and Vivo Kane, they're feeling the hit. Fuego on the Nando, and Nando goes down, and now it's all down to General, the star player of the team, who hasn't been really showing up in the confident matches, but if he wants to show up, now is the time.
Yeah, that's a perfect start, especially on Vivo Kane. Yes, there is still one member survive. And they can maybe look to rest them up, but Fuego, that's what you need. This is the confidence booster. Make sure you can. Those small kills, it's the small wins, making sure that your team has a chance. You can't think about the big picture. You can't think of. fact that you're on the bottom. Unfortunately, that is the reality. But it's one of those things where you got to look at it as a clean slate. You just got to go up from here.
All Stars Gaming going to be finding themselves slightly lonely, should I put it that way. Not too many people around the maze. A lot of people have already been rotating out of it, primarily Todak, and now we're going to see them take it a little bit slow. Kalahari is quite a bit of a big map. Plenty of time to just rotate around. I think the circle, 80% of the map, I would say, give or take. So a lot of leeway for slow rotations.
Yeah, very slow. And that's going to be, it makes for some fun times, especially when that last circle is happening. There's so much open space. You talked about the lack of cover. This is definitely an issue that could potentially be there. So I love the fact that Echo Esports are sticking together. If anyone gets picked off, they have the other guy just kind of backing each other up. They have that support, but they are on the low ground. That is a little disconcerting right now, especially since the fact that this is, a very high, there's tons of elevation, so to speak. High ground is king.
Honestly, I haven't found too many teams that have been camping the revival point, because I feel like that's one of the strategies that you can capitalize on, right? Especially if you're a team like Fuego, you take them down 3 members on the side of the gate. If you were camping one of the closest revival points, that could have just secured them, a 4th kill.
Or Fuego is 200 IQing it and being like, hey, I'm going to get those 3 kills, let them revive and get more kills so I can get more points and give myself a chance back into this game.
Well, you got to keep them guessing, I guess. It's 2022. You got to stay unpredictable. And, we'll see how that plays out. But Fuego now starting to make their way into the route point, like we mentioned. And House of Blood, well, they're down to 2 members as well. So, General, despite being able to revive his teammates, he himself could find himself plenty of action.
Yes.
If I'll put it that way.
You need the action. You need to figure something out. You got to get something. And look at General on the run. He's got his entire team back up, and they're, this is not where you want to be, and that's a huge win for Vivocade. I thought it was going to be a problem for them, but hey, with that last member alive, you're still fine. Now Fuego need to figure something out. House of Blood, on the other hand, have kind of found Fuego. I don't know if they really want to go for this.
And All Stars Esports, well, they're coming in hot, and really quickly as well. And now we talked about Modesta. He's doing pretty decently, but now 3 members revived, but 2 instantly down. How unfortunate, but here comes the rest of All Stars Esports. We talked about them coming hot, and House of Blood just gets completely ripped apart, but there is Tahar still alive. He's trying to fight it out, but unfortunately he got taken in a second, and that brings it down to the last remaining member in Venom. He's trying to buy things out of the glue walls, trying to play a bit of time off Mun, playing it safe. He's just trying to make sure that he revives himself up. Does he know it's a 1v1 though?
Doesn't really have much of a chance, and it looks like he just wants to get out of dodge. He's going to just drive. He does get shot. He took a little bit damage, but he's going to be fine. He's just going to look for the res, play for the late game, get yourself back into it. But Fuego with 7
will be the last man standing for Todak, or should I say the last man to join his team in the next lobby, as we're down to 9 teams. Todak once again the first team to be out in Kalahari.
Sad times. We had expectations. We thought they were going to step up, but unfortunately it was one of those things where they lost a member early. You get your arm cut off, so to speak, as you're looking to fight. Very difficult to do against an even man squad. Last game where they were playing safe, just clean up what they was coming. Once the team scuffle and then they have the damaged guys, they can just go in and clean up. Echo seems to be doing that. They don't really have to rush anything. They understand that they're probably in top 4 right now as long as they're playing it safe. They're looking for placement points, not kills.
Yeah, well, and LGDS, no one's cutting them a break. Every single time they bring a member back, they're constantly getting hunted. So that's likely the best start, but can't say the same for Fuego, who's been doing spectacularly well in the opening stages of Kalahari V2.
I feel like you're jinxing them. They've got 8 kills to their name, but I want to see Fuego do this. I want to see the miracle run. If they get so many kills, but it looks like they're going to continue to fight. They did get General again. They did look to just trade at this point, but Fuego's still pretty strong, and the Vivocade has only 1 last member.
Harris here coming in to support the rest of his team as they find themselves a new contender, and it's going to be none other than English Esports, who have been burning it out at this competition thus far. They are 1 point behind 4. V-Gaming, and I'm pretty sure they know that the rest of the teams are breathing down their necks.
Yeah, they're kind of in position, but look at Ignis Esports. Look at the placement. They're all sticking together. Jason took a little bit of damage there, but they're sticking, side by side, almost holding hands. Fuego, on the other hand, are looking to be aggressive. They're continuing to go on. Look at that kill board. Fuego in 2 on top. Haxino in second place with 3 kills as well. Both of those guys really stepping it up, but they've got 9 kills and they want more. They want Ignis Esports, who are kind of flat-footed at this point, and it looks like they're going to retreat at this stage.
And they're just having it up. And I think they know that they need the points, like you said, and Ignis, they're feeling the hit. Fuego isn't letting them escape at all. The moment they make a run for it, Fuego just goes, go, 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 let's just shoot right onto them. And they're getting all these taps in, which is hurting Ignis, but they finally find themselves a bit of a small pocket of space to get away.
Yeah, I don't think anybody really wants to fight it. It's one of those things where when a team finds that groove, it's scary. You're hoping that another team will kind of get in the way and just skirmish with them so that maybe you can third-party them, you give yourselves a chance, but it's one of those things where you don't really want to mess with them. But G18 fighting in the clock tower, he's going to just dump to his death right there, but I guess that's the way to go. Sometimes you just gotta end it at that stage.
And LGDS, well, they just can't seem to go down without a fight. They're constantly reviving all across the map. But now they're down to final 3. They found themselves 3 kills in the process. On fire as he gets off man. Oh, that shot! Make it another kill! Oh my goodness!
Wow, LGDS, they've been sniping from this high, and they knocked him out of the vehicle and then killed him with the next single shot. LGDS, this is perfect. They're playing safe, they're just changing it up. They were aggressive earlier today, but now they've kind of played it, they're looking for placement points, make sure that they have a chance. But Fuego, looking to just run into Echo Esports. They gotta be careful with how they proceed here.
And on the other side of the map, we do see a little bit of a friendly kill there. No biggie, just a bit of a bickering.
Yeah, but it happens.
Here comes Fuego coming in hot with 9 kills on the board, but that's not the push that they wanted. 2 members are really down on the ground as Echo Esports biting back, not willing to relent. And I think Haxino knows that he can't get his teammate there. It's better to just play safe. Yes, you've gotten the points early into the game, but you can't afford to borrow this early.
Ignis Esports got knocked out 9th. This is massive for them. They were on the outside looking in. They were 5th place at this stage. They really needed to have done well. Now it's going to put more pressure as they go in. But Haxino, last member surviving of Fuego. Clever is knocked down. Might be difficult to do, but Haxino's looking to just fight this one, and he gets knocked down. And it looks like he's going to be killed. Echo will clean that one. Fuego is down in 7th. That might not be enough, especially with the placement points. But Echo Esports on cleanup crew, they've got 5 kills.
Echo Esports have been playing this really silently, but well, on the other side of the map, V-Gaming, what was that? I tell you, V-Gaming is like the dark horse. They disappear every now and then, but they always remind you that they are around.
They are very strong. This is a team that nobody really, they underestimate them. It's like, yeah, you're going to go against, the attack all arounds. You're going to go against the Vivocade, but where did this V-Gaming team come out of? You need to really make sure that, hey, you figure out where this team is, because when they draw a beat on you, they are killing you. They're eliminating you from this game. They're going to have a great time, but Dead God, just being quiet, playing a little bit of hide and seek, making sure that he's alive, and just trying to look for those placement points. Every team that gets eliminated at this point is huge for Vivocade. They don't need to pressure anything because of the fact that they're doing so well in terms of the points, but if you can get any of those cheeky placement points, it's going to be key for them.
Yeah, well, obviously the fact that the kill feed is kind of hidden from the players themselves, so they have absolutely no idea that Vivocade only has 1 remaining member standing. Now, attack all around, putting themselves in a very comfortable spot. Like we said, they're consistent. They don't switch up their plays too much, so it's kind of expected out of them. And Echo Esports, on the other hand, completely different play style. Very aggressive, pushes in for the kills. They're looking comfortable as well, but now here comes the Titans of the tree at the top of the table.
Oh, nice shot, Dark Love. Just getting the knock onto Roro, and he's making sure that none of them actually leave that building. They're going to pick each other up. LGDS is just going to have to regroup, but V-Gaming in a prime position. This is actually key for them. They've got 7 kills, great positioning, and yes, there's 5 teams left, but they're on fire. They're really making sure that they're in the central location. That's perfectly where you want to be.
And a lot of crossroads in between as well. Well, if Vivocade had a full team, they would be happy here. But on the other side of the hand, LGDS, they've been getting all these headshots through who's looking to be a key sniper of the team. He's been getting all these headshots, he's been securing kills, and he's got 3 on the board, but Roro and cut them no slack. They've got 2 of their own.
Oh, LGDS, again, I think they were 6th place. They really need a good game here. They've got 7 kills, great. Talk about placement points. Let's look to see what we can do. Attack all around, full strength. V Gaming, full strength. Both of those teams are killers. Gotta be careful with how you proceed on this one as the next storm is starting to come in. But look at, hey, V Gaming, when you've got 3 members up, gonna pick up the 4th right here, and it looks like they're gonna go in for this next circle.
Yeah, I like this positioning coming from V Gaming. They have the high ground, the circle, they don't really have to push, and not only that, they have a good vantage point, which means if, you know, the team in the bottom do go in for the kill, it's a free firing ground for V Gaming.
Oh my gosh, Dots with that nice grenade. This guy is an absolute monster. He had so many kills. The MVP of his team, LGDS, eliminated 4th. That grenade was completely on point. 3 teams left. Dots gets the triple kill, and that's why this guy is a monster.
Yeah, it's like, I want that HUD, right? Not any of that HUD, just the one that LGDS hit, kicks them out of the grenade, and well, it's mine now.
Yeah, look at this. Echo Esports, 1st and 3rd in terms of the kills, with 4 and 3. They've kind of tied up with Fuego, who had a hot start, but they're alive. They've got 9 kills. They've got way more placement points, and they're in the circle. This is amazing positioning by them. They're in the building. Everybody needs to come towards them. Attack all around are on the edge as well, so it's going to be very close into this final circle.
Yeah, well, these 3 teams, they're just selfish, right? They're the top 4, but they don't want to share with anyone else. They're like, woo, dominate.
Why? No, this is a statement game, right? This is experience. It doesn't matter where you are at the end of the day, because, yeah, you want to do as well as possible. This will build a lot of confidence. If you're the 1st or 2nd team, it's going to be one of those moments where, hey, I deserve this spot in the play-ins. I deserve to be here.
Yeah, I know. Hoysang now coming in, Kokoro pushing it in, Echo getting done upon by V Gaming. What if they got themselves into? That's not the fight that they want, and they're gonna come down 1 by 1. Big Su and Ventem being the last 2 members alive, and the zone is just pushing right behind them. The storm is starting to hurt, and now Echo is stepping it up and attack all around. They have been quiet, they have been silent, but here comes the monsters of holding the ground. They are cleaning it up. Kokoro just managing to get some shots through the windows. He's gonna climb in really quickly. They secure the kill right there, and it's all down to a 4v4. But Echo, they have 2 members down. Kiva trying to buy some time, but he's spotted out by the last member, and that's gonna be Hoysang at the top as well. Attack all around. They get their first booyah of the day.
That was actually amazing, right? Attack all around was actually very patient. They let V Gaming and Echo Esports go at it, and they ended up just doing the 3rd party, and they cleaned it up. That's actually textbook in terms of what you want to do. You don't want to overcommit. They let the other teams play it around, but a huge booyah. Game 5 win for Attack all around. Hoysang, JLX, Kororo, and Volky right there, just really stepping up and proving why Thailand is a formidable opponent.
Yeah, a little bit fortunate for Echo Esports. Let's take a look at the highlights to see how they achieved that.
All around with that match 5 win. They get the booyah, they 3rd party, they do everything right. They get so many kills as well. Very well played by Attack all around.
Yeah, I think that was as tactical as it got in the final circle, and Attack all around had the perfect formula for them to actually pick up that booyah. They were playing it slow, you know, as true to their strategy, and they got a little bit of luck on their end as well, right? The storm was pushing in onto places where they had the HUD around them, and that's the thing about Attack all around, right? It's so hard to challenge them for ground. Doesn't matter whether it's a high ground or low ground. as long as they have a structure around them, they look formidable.
Yeah. And this is a scary team. Thailand is a region, again, nobody really wants to play against them. They have the previous final FF World Series winner in that, that league, so they understand exactly what top tier play is. This is a team that's going to continue to get better, and this is not something that other teams want to see, as they are probably going to punch their way ticket into the finals.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking really strong going into the very last game. I gotta say, Agnes was slightly unfortunate that they had a fantastic start, but then unfortunately they got just game-kicked the heck out of the final thing. But let's take a look at the game standings after, or at least for game 5, right? Attack all around, nothing too surprising there. Obviously taking the booyah, but taking away 22 points along with 10 kills.
Yeah, look at Echo Esports though, with 12 kills. They were second place, they got 21. They're neck and neck. V Gaming again, very consistent by them with 7 kills, and they again 15 points. LGDS, I thought they stepped up pretty huge on this one, 14 points. And Fuego, we were wanting this the entire tournament, and it looks like they've risen to the top, at least in terms of game 5. They've kind of gotten themselves a decent amount. With 7, All-Star Esports with 6, Vivo Key, they got knocked out a little bit early with 6, Ignis Esports with only 2, and Todak with just 1 point.
Yeah, this is
Blue Wall used 14, very key for them in keeping themselves alive. But Afme, we just won vehicle kill. This is an interesting stat because we did see this one where he just ends up getting that kill on that vehicle, which is actually an interesting stat to just kind of keep track of.
This could have been the first vehicle kill that we have seen and today. And like you said, it's a very interesting stat. Nothing that really, it doesn't really shout in your face, but it's just one of those Tibet's moments for us customers.
Yeah. I mean, you don't really see it all the time, but it's like, okay, yeah, we'll track these things. I mean, you're going to track every single kill that they have. I think he would rather have a kill on a player instead of the vehicle, but it's just one of those funny things that we have in Free Fire. We track everything.
Yeah, you want to get yourselves, some kind of recognition. So, kind of fair play to Offman. He did manage to get the first vehicle kill. But moving on to the nitty-gritty of things, right? We saw how well, I would say, some of the teams did in the early game, but did Fuego do enough to give themselves a fighting chance?
This is the pressure cooker. We're into it. It's going to be match 6, now or never. Do you want it? Do you want to be playing in the finals, or do you want to go home?
I want it.
Okay, I thought you were going to say, I want to go home. I was like, wait, what? Like that, you put your hand up like that. That kind of threw me off. But hey, it's going to be great. I love the fact that he's going to, we're going to have to see what's going to happen in terms of match 6. That's going to be coming up. So many teams are vulnerable. But first, let's take a little bit of a break.
Jogo não dava futuro. Tipo, minha mãe sempre falou que jogar não dava futuro. E eu consegui provar o contrário pra ela.
Muito bem jogado nesse match.
Teve um certo dia que eu tive uma conversa com ela e falei pra ela eu vou querer seguir uma carreira profissional de jogo e essa sabe que eu sempre gostei de jogo e esse é meu sonho. Eu nunca me imaginei estar onde eu tô hoje. Eu vim de cidade muito pequena, minha cidade tinha o quê? 20 mil habitantes. E ano passado eu tomei uma decisão muito difícil, porque eu saí da minha casa, que eu moro no Ceará, eu vim aqui pra São Paulo pra seguir minha vida como profissional, mas foi foi uma mudança muito radical pra mim. E uma pessoa que, tipo, realmente me ajudou foi o K9. Eu considero um pai pra mim, foi ele que me deu minha primeira oportunidade, sem ele não teria ganhado nada disso. Tantas coisas aconteceram nessa temporada, tipo, desse ano. Olha os prêmios que eu ganhei, fazer uma recapitulada. LBFF 4, fui campeão. LBFF 5, eu fui MVP. Fui o bravo da galera. Eu fui atleta revelação da maior premiação brasileira daqui do esportes. Quando eu fui pra casa, depois do Mundial, eu fiz uma pausa e me deitei pra descansar. Eu acho que olhei pra minha casa assim, olhei pra minha rua, ouvi meus amigos passando e comecei a lembrar de tudo.
Never thought that one day I would get that kind of chance. There is no way that I will let it slip out of my hands. Staring at the ceiling, fan, remembering the pain. There's so much I could lose now, but so much more to gain. Can't stop and won't stop the stakes until high is as fun and a game. No sleeping or resting, believe in this dream, it will come true one day. We will be heroes. The moment has arrived. We fought the biggest battle of our lives. We will be heroes. The last ones to survive. We can't just wait until the end of time. Let the heroes arise. Never thought the day would come, our eyes would be on me. There's no way I will lose now. I'll shine in victory. Can't stop and won't stop the stakes until high is as fun and a game. No sleeping or resting, believe in this dream, it will come to one day. We will be heroes. The moment has arrived. We fought the biggest battle of our lives. We will be heroes. The last ones to survive. We can't just stay until the end of time. Let the heroes arise. It's time to stand up now. Let the heroes arise. There's no stopping you right now. Let the heroes arise. There's only one way. Get it up. Let the heroes arise.
Ladies and gentlemen, from all around the world, welcome back to the Free Fire World Series 2022 Santosa, brought to you by none other than Garena. My name's Aris. Once again, I'm Mr. Holler. Did I pronounce it right this time around?
You did. My name is Holler. It's okay. You know, I think my own mom calls me with the wrong name as well. But nonetheless, I'm here and we are happy. You know, this is going to be match 6.
The final one of the day.
Which one is going to get in? It's going to only be top 4 that move on into the finals, which is They have 2 Booyahs in this league or this tournament today, but the thing is that actually they might lose out if they play poorly. They didn't have a great game, match 5. That's very worrying. They need to ensure that they step up. I expected them to get in and to be a shoo-in, but like everything in Free Fire, nothing is a shoo-in.
Yeah, well, it could have been the Costos curse, right? I'll take that one. I'll take the forfeit. So I'm sorry to all the Brazilian fans out there. I promise I won't mention their name if I can help it, okay? I'm just so excited.
It's on him.
I'm just so excited, okay? I'll take that one.
Okay, excited and all that stuff, but so many teams have stepped up, right? I think that this has been, a great day, and it's just one of those things where it's a step up. You get the experience. You're playing internationally. This is one of those moments where you're going to also take that experience into next week. A lot of those other teams, I see them on Instagram and, the stories, and they're actually doing this live. They're paying attention to the other teams. Who is going to be that underdog, that dark horse that might scare them in next week's finals?
Yeah, I gotta, for all the teams out there, all the best for the last match. But before that, for all the viewers at home, do remember that starting off on the 16th of May, you do get a chance to take part in FFWS yourself. Yes, it's the pick and win event. Do remember to log in on starting from 16th May all the way to 21st May to vote for your team and who you think is going to be the grand champion of FFWS 2022.
And not only if you're right, you're going to get some in-game items, which is actually key, right? That's the biggest thing. Can you out-predict us? I mean, you could definitely out-predict Aris, but myself, I don't think so. I want to go after you because I don't think that's going to happen. I think I'm going to be right. I'm going to hold that one in because of the fact that a lot of these other teams might steal my pick. I want to be that lone guy that wins all of the prizes.
Well, there is prizes up for grabs, and what's up for grabs is also the top 4 spots from the planes who will be making it to the grand finals, and join them will be all these other big boys from the leagues who have qualified from the top and gotten the direct seat into next week's games.
Okay, unfortunately, 6 of the teams are going to go home today, but they're going to go home with about 40,000 to 50,000 USD, which is no small change for them. So no tears will be shed for those teams, right? I think it's going to be great for them to see them even moving forward because they made it here to play-ins. Huge props to them for getting themselves into this position where they have that chance. They got a chance to play in Santosa, get that international experience, see how it really is. Now, what are you going to do from that as you move forward? They're going to have plenty more tournaments coming up. I know the regionals are going to be there. We're going to see exactly how those teams really take that experience and they take it to the next level again.
Absolutely, I can't wait. But more importantly, let's take a look at the final map of the day. It is Purgatory as we head into it for the second time of today's games. Here we go.
Final match of today. This is going to be it. Let's look at the scoreboard. Attack all around with 76, Echo Esports with 74, but hot on the heels, Vivocade 66, V Gaming with 64. Now, a little bit of a jump. LGDS with 7 points behind V Gaming. Ignis Esports is 7 points behind LGDS, but I think both of these teams, if they have a monster game, I'm talking kills, placement points, hopefully that booyah, they might springboard themselves into that top 4, which they must have to get to that finals.
Absolutely. As you can see the standings on the right side. Oh, ooh la la, that's so close. And I gotta say, I think all around looking really comfortable in the top. Echo Esports alongside with them as well with 74 points of their own. The rest of the teams, anyone? Any takers? Up for grabs.
Yeah, you gotta be close. This is the one where, okay, if you're in the position of an Ignis Esports, how do you play this one in this game?
I think you go all out.
You go all out?
You go all out.
But you're going to play a little risky. But as I say that, Ames is looking to just kind of get into a skirmish already. He's going to run into the building, keep himself alive. Clever has already been knocked out. Hydro, pretty big win for them. They don't want to be on the bottom. They're making sure that they do get at least some kills. But Afik looking to just fight in. He's got the time turner, keeping himself alive. They're going to run into the building, slow things down, my friend.
Yeah, well, he's not the gun to slow things down. He wants to secure the queue there. That's 2 kills on board for them, courtesy of Virgo. And then there could be more up for grabs as Hydro just going to get a little bit of cover behind. Time turner is going to buy him a little bit more time. No pun intended. Spark coming in, support the same. Ignis is knocked down, and that's Virgo getting taken out.
Oh my god,
Very quickly.
it's so close. I mean, so many of them are just fighting already, but Todak already has 4 kills to the name. Great start for them. This is something that we wanted to see for them, but Ames is down. This is, at what cost did that 4 kills happen? You lost a member. You're going to have to look to revive him, but you got to play safe. You're damaged. You're hurt. You make sure that you're alive. You give yourself a chance for that late game.
I think it would be a bittersweet story for Todak if they do manage to get at least one booyah.
That would be crazy. No, I think that it's, it's going to be a huge win for them, right? I think that Todak hasn't really found that groove all day today. It's been one of those things where they kind of get picked off, but look it, if we're looking into it, LGDS are right around the corner. I don't know if they're unlucky at this stage.
Well,
He'll clean up those 2 kills. He'll even kill the glue walls in return. But Othmane says, thank you, and I will take both of those kills.
yeah, I gotta hand it to this guy. Every single time, the odds are against his favor, he can turn the table around. When you talk about the vehicle queue, well, this time around, it isn't exactly the vehicle queue, but the vehicle brought him 2 free ones. The right lost that.
Yeah, that was actually really well played. I mean, the glue walls, just how it was up, he jumped over, he got that shot in, and I mean, it was so close quarters that it was the other team kind of like, hey, if you've got 2 members, maybe you should back up. Don't just rush in without understanding how to just take this one down. Maybe if they focused, they backed up, took down that glue wall, they would have had a better chance at taking down Othmane, but Othmane made their, mistakes pay, so to speak.
Othmane here after getting a hot kills with 2 of them. In fact, he's facing it up against a member of House of Blood. Danny on the other side as well. Venom. I think they're playing it slow. They really want to ride this storm up as long as they can. I think they're just going for positioning points at this point.
Yeah, it's the first storm. Nobody really cares. It's like a mosquito. Yeah, it's annoying. Yeah, you're damaged a little bit. But at the end of the day, you're going to be fine. You can actually heal through this one. And so they're playing it safe because they know that, All-Star Esports, House of Blood, both of these guys very close to each other. Nobody wants to make that first move.
Yeah, the afterburner effect is coming in right now, right? I think they switched it up. We didn't really see too many teams play like that in the first 5 games, but because they know that this is the very last game of the day, I think that they're putting 2 members into the circle, and the other 2, we're just gonna ride it out. Let's just try to get positioning points, and if we can get lucky with a couple of kills, we'll take that.
Yeah, but look at G18. Othmane has been like, yo, I'm pinched. I can't move here. Othmane is by by himself against two members of HOP right there with Danny and Hudek just kind of making sure that he can't move anywhere. G18 is coming to the rescue. He's like Batman, Superman, whatever you want to say. He's going to come back and help his team. We're going to see if he can just kind of dig himself out of this one, especially since Othman is stuck on that bridge. The balcony has no real chance to get out. But Remind is here. He's brought friends with G18 and they go storming in and they kill Danny.
They gotta do it quick though, because yes, you do have the afterburner effect, but you don't want to go in getting gatekeep by the rest of the teams that moved in earlier. So you gotta play really smartly about this one.
Yeah, this is one where, hey, as a House of Blood, you know that they've got two members. You're kind of down to it. You're low on life at this stage. Maybe you look to just get into the circle, keep yourself alive. Maybe you get the vending machine so that you can kind of revive your teammates, give yourself a chance for that late game. This is not one of those moments where you want to risk it. It's one of those high risk, high reward kinds of plays. I don't think it's worth it. You look for those plays.
Yeah, earlier on when we last saw the map as well as how the circle was closing in, LGDS was actually really close to Ignis. They were situated in between Fire Brigade and Lumber Mill. And I think that was what I thought could have been a key defining moment, but LGDS is going to make a break for it. I think they know they still stand a chance, a very good chance of breaking into top 4. So they're just going to play a little bit quicker to move into the circle. But, kind of reviving the drama here between All-Star Esports as well as House of Blood. Venom here getting a kill onto Remind, and, well, they found themselves onto the kill leaderboard.
G18, though, does get the knock as well, so he did something in return. They've got 4 kills to their name. That's not that bad, but it's against House of Blood, and it looks like they've eliminated them 8th place. All-Star Esports, that was massive, especially since the fact that they had a bit of a rough start. They lost 3 members early. Othman revived them, had that clutch, miraculous play. We're going to definitely see that on the highlight reel. That's going to be happening, but All-Star Esports back in it. They've got 5 kills to their name.
All-Star Esports, well, I really do feel like they could stand a chance if they could get slightly more kills. And, well, I was kind of hoping how they hold me back and giving them a little bit too much hope, but, well, he didn't. They get the point.
Okay,
right?
You gotta give every team hope, man. You can't be so negative. You gotta get, I think they have a chance. But speaking of teams that have a great chance, V Gaming right here, they've got 0 kills. They're like, hey, we're just gonna look for placement points. We don't need to just risk anything. We know what position we're in. We just need to ensure that we're in the top 4, stay alive. We don't need to risk anything. We'll just stay in this watchtower here, see what, maybe some teams will just walk into my bear trap and I'll just get, free meals, so to speak.
Yeah, once again, let's take a look at the update of the Circle All-Stars. They do find themselves back into the zone, safe and sound, escaping from the storm. Every single team does have a decent amount of space in between each other. However, that being said, I do like where Vivocade are. They have a couple of containers for them at the south side of Forge, and I don't think Ignis will want to push against them just because they want more points from positioning compared to being knocked out early.
Yeah, okay. Vivocade, I thought that there were, maybe their games were frozen at one point because they have not moved throughout this entire game. They've been playing, sticking it down. They've been bunkering down. They just know that they need to survive, right? They're in 3rd place right now. They are technically at risk. So the fact is they need to just make sure that they stay alive. They stay 4 strong.
If we don't move, no one would know. How would they know?
Okay, the other teams are not dinosaurs. You know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't matter if you move or don't move. Right? They can see you. They're going to see what's happening, right? It's not a long-term strategy that they need to be playing. They need to ensure that they get a decent number of kills, but with 7 teams out there, placement points are still up in the air.
That's right. Echo Esports now starting to make their move from the northern side. They've been staying pretty silent. In fact, completely silent throughout. But they're going to break that silence right now for at least for attack all around with LGDS knocking on their door at southern end of campsite. And I can say the odds don't look good for LGDS, and they know that themselves. They're making a break for it. They're like, we don't want any of this.
Yeah. And Hoisan got boosted up on the roof there. He realizes that this is actually a bad spot. LGDS is like, okay, we need to get out of here. We need to just stay alive as well, and they're going to be fine here hiding behind. But Ignis, oh my gosh, I can't say this. Ignis Esports, they're sticking around. They do see that they're nearby. LGDS, they're getting some shots here. They're taking some damage. Yuan is taking a decent amount right here. But this is one of those things where, do we want to continue this fight? And it looks like Ignis Esports are looking to be the aggressors.
Yeah, Time Turner's gonna give them extra shield. You want to keep your glue reserves up for the final circle, but unfortunately, they're getting shots all around. And now Ignis, they're going in for it. They really want to get those kills. The grenade thrown on the side, blocked by the time turtle, but he has more than enough grenades to kind of break those glue walls. And now
they're running around.
Carlos, he's catching him right behind.
Oh, he got
They
him
don't spot him. They got him from the back. And now it's down to the final two members. Doing his best, but Carlos is just firing right back. And now it's down to a 3v1. Can he fight against the odds? Bruce is now knocked down. And can he run away or does he take the fight? He chooses to go right in. And now riding right behind him is just the last member of All-Star Esports. He's just gonna drive right by. He's like, I don't want any of this. You guys set it up between yourselves. I'm just gonna go by. And now he's like, oh my goodness, you gotta pick me up for a ride. And now he's just trying to plant all these glue walls around. And Ignis, they're slowly bound out the bound. And here they go. Ignis, they just knocked out LGDS.
That was actually massive. Carlos with the the incredible play. I don't know if it was a incredible play or LGDS just not covering their flanks, but that nice grenade knocks down Hosang, and then Kiba is on point as well, and they're looking to just clean it up. They heard the shots, they know what's coming. Dust is looking to just turn this one off. Time Turner, at least now, for keeping themselves alive. Foki's been knocked. This is something that you need to be careful about, but Kiba's looking around, cannot draw a bead. He finds him now, and attack all around has been eliminated. 6. This is massive. Echo Esports is completely taking them out. There are 5 teams left.
Well, just gotta go back to that moment. V Gaming, they got lucky, right? While Ignis and LGDS were battling out, you see one lonesome member just running into the background, into the sunset, and it's like, nah, that's, you guys, it's not my business. I just want to revive my teammates, and now they are back as a 4-man strong team. Do they have the resources and what it takes to go up against Echo, who have been blazing it up in this map?
Yeah, but they're 4 strong. V Gaming is 4 strong as well. Oh, but that Time Turner. Okay, Dots he's deadly with his sniper. He hasn't been able to draw a B. That glue wall is doing a decent amount in terms of providing cover here, but Koja just shooting in as well. V Gaming playing a little bit safe. 5 teams left. This is very key. Are they going to get third party? Because it's going to be a bit of a stalemate with 4 teams there. There's a lot of cover, a lot of glue walls. It's going to be very difficult. That circle is closing. Other teams will hear this. They will know that they're coming. They need to ensure that they make the move. Dutch has been knocked down. Pretty massive for them. You don't want him killed. He's the MVP of that team. So Echo down right now. Pretty massive with only 3 players left.
Yeah, they're missing the right wrist of Dodge right now, but they got the left wrist, and they're just playing it safe. They just don't really want anything to do with V Gaming. V Gaming, they know they have to solidify a spot in the top 4, and they're gunning for points. Now with 4 men, the grenade comes in with Dark Derp, it's just gonna blow up the glue wall. Ombak coming in from the side with the shotgun. Can he actually find an angle to take down Van Tam? I don't think he can. He's in fact giving more respect to the lane. They're putting Echo Esports under so much pressure.
Yeah, Ombak here has been about half-life. Kiba's been knocked down. He's been killed now, and then 2 members left of Echo Esports. V Gaming have been strategic. They've been tactical. They made sure that they pay. And look at this. They just completely cleaned them up. V Gaming has been completely on point. Tina with a triple kill, completely cleaning it out. He's got 3 kills to his name, but V Gaming has lost nothing. This is massive for them. All-Star Esports gets sniped there. G18 has been killed, and Tina with a sniper gets the quad kill. Echo Esports been eliminated. 4 teams left.
Van Tam take it to the bank and cash it in. 4 kills on his own, and what seemed like it was all over for V Gaming. They are keeping the top 4 hopes alive, and now we are down to our final 4 teams. And at the corner, or should I say south of campsite, Ignis Esports is still standing, and this is super close. They need the points. They are just knocking on the doors of the grand finals.
The issue is there's not a whole lot of points left, right? Assuming that, they've got 12 players left and they've got 4, I think, on their own team. So there's only 8 players that they could potentially get. Yes, the Booyah is going to be important, but I don't know if that's enough points. Vivocade, on the other hand, played. Yes, they've got only 3 kills and they're on the bottom in terms of the kill lead, but they're in placement. They're in the top 4 right now. They're doing it smart. This is exactly what you want to do as that team. Make sure that you just get the placement points, get the cheeky points, and then you just survive another day because you're in the top 3 already, so you're probably going to be playing in the finals.
Offman just holding his breath now, crossing his fingers, like, hopefully they don't find me. I just want displacement points. And now Kano coming in from the side. Oh, they spot out Van Tam. He's trying to ride this one out, but unfortunately the play zone just gonna claim his life there.
Yeah, he's just going to deny points, which is kind of smart at this stage. I think that's the biggest one. But All-Star Esports been eliminated here. 3 teams left. Ignis Esports, VK as well. I mean, this is going to be goes to the final bout. I mean, everybody wants those points. They want to ensure that they're guaranteed a spot here, but Vivocade is looking to just fight this. Kano is just like looking to go for the flank, but that, that time turner is creating a little bit of a problem. Vivocade, Modestia is looking to just flank around. I don't know if he can draw a bead. Kano hasn't been able to find it. He opens it up, the glue wall, but he gets knocked here. Eric is looking to just fight. Modestia does get the kill on him so far. Eric has been knocked down. General's been knocked as well, and this is turning into a bloodbath, and V Gaming has been eliminated, and there's 2 teams left. It's all down to Ignis as well as Vivocade, and just as I said, Ignis, they managed to get the booyah, and I'm pretty sure that would have punched their way down to top 4. Ignis Esports, what a game for them. That was a must win. They had to get that. They got all the kills that they wanted. Ignis Esports, you see the guy, he did the sign of the cross.
Look at that.
I mean, if anything, that was a miraculous play. That's what they needed to do, and this is what we see. Ignis Esports, they think they've done it. It's going to come down to it. Look at, he's praying at this point. Ignis Esports, I'm praying for you because I was impressed with that final one. That's exactly what you wanted to do. Ensure that you're in that Game 6 win, that booyah here. Eric, Jason, Seven, Kano, Carlos, all of those guys. It started with Carlos's flank. He was completely on point, took down LGDES, but it was just completely a different level. But let's first check out the highlights. monster game. There was 12 minutes left. They had 0 kills to their name. They needed to ensure that they get the kills, the placement points, and they got everything in. That they're fine, but we're gonna have to see All-Star Esports with 12, Echo Esports with 10, LGDS with 8, Todak with 7, House of Blood with 7, as well as Attack All Around, Fuego with 2. This is gonna be so close. I cannot wait either. The judges right now are tabulating points, figuring out who's gonna make it, because this is massive. 4 teams out of the 10 are gonna make their way into the finals. Who's gonna make it? I don't want to break anyone's hearts, and I don't want to give any spoilers, but it's going to be coming up right next, and I think I know. If my math is correct, I think I know who's going to be playing into the grand finals, but enough of suspense, enough of those hidden moments. Here we go. Here are your top 4 teams. Echo Esports, Attack All Around, Vivo K. You had 0 kills. You needed to be more aggressive. You knew what position you were in. You had a chance. Unfortunately, they're going to be the first loser out of this one, being in that 5th position. And it all came down to that very final moment. The fact that V Gaming managed to slink one player into the final circle, getting 2nd place. That was those final points that they needed. And just because of that, they took that 4th spot. Boy. I told you, every moment in the game would matter. It would count. Everything. And look at this. The top 3 of those things, 84, 83, and 82 points. That's so close. But the MVP in this esports, Carlos, yeah, he had a decent number of kills. He almost single-handedly wiped out LGDS. Carlos was completely on point, gave his team a chance, but unfortunately only 6, had they tied, it would have come down to Booyahs. It would have been even closer at that stage, but Carlos tried to do what he could. Ignis Esports, unfortunately, will be in that 5th position. Yeah, either that, or they had to have V-Game knocked out early, but that is what's so beautiful about Free Fire. It's all these moments, all these key moments that we don't get to see behind the scenes. Well, let's take a look at the key leaders. Carlos, as you mentioned, got 5 kills, but right behind him is Modestia from Vivo Kane, and from V-Gaming Tunha with 4 kills of his own. Well, he's going to be happy. He's going to be celebrating with his team, because they are going to be making it into the grand finals for next week's games. Man. To protect his own team, tried to do what he can. Echo Esports is actually huge for him. And Carlos, of course, he traveled the ends of the earth. 7,374, tried to do what he could. Got a decent number of kills. He was walking away with a respectable amount of prize money from the prize pool, but for the 4 of them, as well as the other hopefuls, they will be looking to crown themselves as the grand champions of the Free Fire World Series 2022. Yeah, and this is going to be for May 21st. This is going to happen. This is going to be the final lineup. These are the top 12 teams. This is the best teams in the entire world. The world They were the 12th place team in the regular season. They just barely made it to the grand finals. But the thing is that they really stepped it up in the grand finals when they needed to it, and they got it to the 2nd place. Well, I hope you enjoyed all the games that were played in today's games. Commemorations to the teams that did not make it, but for the 4 teams, we'll be seeing you once again. My name is Aris. Constantly beside me has been Howler. We're going to give a big shout out to Abstract as well as to all the viewers around the world. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. Have fun and good night. Have a good night.